Sugar is a key but often misunderstood element to a perfectly balanced cocktail. And today I'm going to explain to you why it is so important. Sugar or sweetener in a cocktail serves 2 to 3 key roles within a cocktail. 1, it cuts the burn of the alcohol and makes it more palatable. And 2, it provides a body for a cocktail. So by far the most common version of a sweetener in a cocktail is gonna be simple syrup. That table sugar that you'll find in your house, if you were to take a cup of that and a cup of water and mix it together, voila, you have simple syrup. Pretty simple. Simple syrup. The next common sweetener you might find in some cocktails is a Demerara sugar syrup. It has a lot more of that earthy flavor and gives a really nice body to any cocktail that it's used in. The next 2 really commonly found syrups that I want to talk to you about are agave syrup and honey syrup. Agave syrup, I make it from agave nectar, which comes from the agave plant that makes tequila and mezcal. And honey syrup comes from honey. So if you remember at the beginning of this video, I talked about sweeteners serving a third possible purpose in a cocktail. And that purpose is to not only provide body, not only provide a sweet element for a cocktail, but you can do it in a way where it actually imparts its own specific flavor to the cocktail. And that actually is the case for pretty much any of these because they all have their own inherent flavor. But what I'm alluding to more is making fruit syrups. We make passion fruit and pineapple syrup. For both of these, I essentially take the juice of that fruit and add sugar to it to make a syrup. And the reason being is that it actually keeps these fresher longer. It allows me to keep them for about a week, and that preserves it longer than if I were to just leave the juice fresh. Outside of fruit juices, you can even make syrups with different spices as well. You can make a cinnamon syrup. Great way to introduce cinnamon flavor into a cocktail without having to use, real cinnamon of any kind. It's kind of one of the only ways to add cinnamon as a fresh flavor to the cocktail. And then we also make a ginger syrup. So we juice fresh ginger and add sugar to it. Excellent way to add the ginger flavor to a cocktail. And these are all super valid ways of not only adding some texture, adding a little bit of sweetness, and also adding and infusing a flavor into a cocktail. None of them overpower, none of them are overly sweet, none of them are gonna turn it into a giantly mega sweet cocktail, but you have to learn how to properly balance them. And then the last sweetener I wanna talk to you about is that sometimes sweeteners don't have to actually just be sugar-based. There are certain spirits that can act as a sweetener. For example, Luxardo's Maraschino liqueur is a cherry-based liqueur that is actually used as the primary sweetener in a couple of classic cocktails. If you've seen the video that I did on aviation, that recipe calls for Luxardo Maraschino as essentially the biggest portion of it as the sweetener for that cocktail. It substitutes itself into the cocktail in place of a traditional sweetener. So there you have it, guys. I hope this video provides just a little bit of insight into why sweeteners and sugar is really important for a cocktail.